I'm at the Vatican. I asked on the way if this outfit was appropriate. I got mixed responses. They did tell me to cover up, but I honestly should have dressed more modestly.
A lot of times people think that the Catholic Church is not welcoming. No, we are. We just have traditions. And we have etiquette. Welcome to the Father Leo Show, where I'm dishing out faith, culture, and commentary. And in this episode, we are going to discuss some much needed etiquette, especially when it comes to the Vatican, which is the burial place of St. Peter, the holy seat of the Holy Roman Catholic Church, and it is a place where pilgrims come from around the world. It is a place to marvel at the beauty, and certainly a place to get closer to God. It's not a place for you to express yourself and go dancing as this one woman did. And you're going to think, Father Leo, but the church needs to be welcoming. And at the end of this video, you're going to see how we are welcoming. But if you come in with the right spirit, you're going to experience the beauty. You're going to leave a little bit more humbler and even a little bit holier. But if you come in with the wrong attitude, you might just get arrested. And before we jump into this discussion and watch these very cringy videos, please make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment. Let us know your thoughts about some of the cringy things that you've actually seen in the Vatican. I'm going to share some of the things that I've seen, but also what can we do to help people understand what this place is about. And as always, we can only do a show like this with your support. Please consider going to patreon.com/The Father Leo Show. Support us at any level, but if you do so monthly, you can actually get access to some great content as well as some special perks. So let's just jump right into it with some of the craziest, cringiest things and how our world needs way more etiquette. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because the Catholic Church has got a big target on its front and back and all sides. And so people come to the Vatican for many reasons. Not only is it because it is the largest church in the world, filled with some of the most priceless art, but it also contains the body and the bones of St. Peter, the first pope, the one who was called to be the vicar, the follower of Christ. And it's a masterpiece. I gave a lot of tours there, and I have seen some strange things. But recently, especially with camera phones and the ability to just record yourself anywhere, it almost gives people the permission to do the darndest things. And then to be seen as victims if someone says, stop, including this video. And so I'm going to show you this video of this woman dancing, and we're not going to play the whole thing because frankly, it's kind of cringy. And then I'm going to show you a video of her getting escorted out by the guards there, whether it be the Swiss guards or maybe even the undercover cops or the San Petrini. But just check it out. Okay, that's enough. But you can see how there were some video kind of inserts of her basically saying that God told her to dance, quoting Psalm 149, let them praise his name with dancing and make music to him with timbrel and harp. She claims that God encouraged her to dance to show the goodness of God. And then she also said, that's exactly what I did. She starts dancing and she says, when the Holy Spirit is working through you, you don't worry about who's judging you. And then she also says, you allow God's Spirit to move through you. You allow God's Spirit to move through you and just let it go, And so this is what she claims is the video that almost got her arrested. And here is a video of her being escorted out. And I want you to see the difference in her expression. The first is like, she has every right to do this as she's doing a performance. And then look at this video now and just check out the demeanor of her face.
I don't have it.
Walking side by side.
Okay. So there you see her basically saying that she doesn't have the video because they asked her, let me see the registered video that you have. She goes, I don't have it. She's kind of wearing this crown, kind of looking like a princess or a queen. And I'm sorry, the church already has a Queen of Heaven. It's the Blessed Mother. And interestingly enough, at the presentation of Mary, it has been said that by tradition that she was brought to the temple for her own consecration and dedication, and that she danced. She danced in the temple. That's kind of the tradition, that Mary actually danced in the temple, signifying that she truly was free and that she truly was moving with the Spirit of God. Well, we also know that that Herod's wife got her daughter to dance and eventually got Herod so riled up that he would do whatever the girl asked, and resulted in the Baptist's head being cut off. I say this because, like, I actually got my scholarship in dance. I got it actually in performing arts. So academics, number one, but then also you had to qualify with academics, but then you had to interview. And my interview was in acting, singing, and dancing. So it was a performing arts scholarship. And that's what I got. My full ride to college was in performing arts. So I appreciate dance. Some of you know that I was a break dancer. But the reason why we even talk about this is because I'm not condemning dance. I'm reminding people that there is a proper approach to dance. And there are some places where dances can happen and some places where it shouldn't happen. And I guess what drives me crazy is that we just think that we have a right to do whatever we want to, wherever we want to. And I'm sorry, we don't. And there are just going to be some places where you can be cringy and inappropriate and in a way need to be escorted out. And I think what I need to discuss is really the attitude of people who go into the Vatican or any Catholic church whatsoever. But the internet is never to be outdone. And so there was actually a girl who found this video and decided to do a little bit more research. And this is what she discovered.
The situation with the woman dancing in St. Peter's Basilica is actually way worse than I initially thought. I thought that maybe she was just an ignorant tourist, or she was a content creator trying to be the center of attention, but it actually seems like there's something way worse going on. So I initially found this video through a repost, not on her account. So when I looked at her account, I saw that she had multiple posts claiming to be the reincarnation of Jesus and that she was Jesus in a past life. She also has posts claiming to both be Jesus and the fallen angel, which likely refers to Satan. She also has posts that say, my family members think that I'm crazy, but I'm actually just enlightened, and there is a image of Jesus and some Hindu figures and some Muslim figures. If you're a Christian, the issue with these posts are obvious, but this actually brings me to believe that her dancing in the Vatican was actually just a manifestation of some sort of spiritual delusions that she's experiencing. So with all of that being said, please don't send any hate towards this woman. It seems like she is experiencing a mental health crisis maybe, so we should really all just pray for her.
Good for this young woman who gives a good perspective, and obviously, because, I don't know, young people have all this time on their hands, do all this research, and I guess it doesn't take a lot of time, but to discover that this woman really is, in a way, not only delusional, but let's also admit that there's sin, grave sin that happens here. One is that, first of all, she wants to have people pay attention to her. It's a sin of pride and admiration of self. Secondly, it's a sense of entitlement that you can do whatever you want. And I'm sorry, you don't have a right to every gift. The third thing that I find strange about this is that if this woman is claiming to have all of these kind of spiritual conundrums or spiritually enlightening, but also kind of dark sounding revelations, that we know that movement can bring about evil. That's why we encourage people to stay away from yoga principles. Yeah, you can stretch all you want, but if you're using yoga principles, some of those stretches are, in a sense, gateways to the diabolical world. Was this happening here? We will never know. We will never know. But I can tell you that people come to the Vatican for a ton of reasons. And yeah, some of them are to just take a bunch of pictures. Some of them are to just say, I've been there, done that. Some of them are there for very bad reasons. When I was at the Vatican as a student and even as a young priest, and even when I go now as a priest, if I have the opportunity to distribute communion at the Vatican, we are all told to be very careful to whom we distribute Holy Communion, which is why we are encouraged to put communion on the tongue and make sure that people are consuming it. If not, they can take it and run with it. But I've also seen people in the Vatican do just kind of silly things like posing with certain statues and kind of creating a little bit of spectacle for themselves. Or in some cases, people are so inspired that they'll just start singing in ways that maybe they don't sing well. And so it'll cause a little bit of a ruckus. People will get attention drawn to it, thinking that something is happening. And it's really unfortunate because the Vatican is first and foremost a church, a holy church. But we also know, because it contains all of the history and priceless works of art, it's also in a way a museum. Now, you don't have to pay to enter into it, but you are going to have to go through security checks and all that stuff. And we do expect, because it is a holy place, that you are appropriate in there. And so here's what I want to do. I want to actually end with this video because it's cringy, but I at least respect what happens at the end, the final comments of this content creator. Because let's admit, people want to create content in great places like the Vatican. Yes, the Catholic Church is the source of content creation. But this guy goes to the Vatican, and again, it's kind of cringy, so stick with me and bear with me on this. And I'm just letting you know I'm not encouraging or supporting anything, but I can say that I appreciated something about this particular content creator and his time at the Vatican. Check this out.
You will never guess where this twink is today. I'm at the Vatican. I asked on the way if this outfit was appropriate. I got mixed responses. They did tell me to cover up, but I honestly should have dressed more modestly. It's so crazy that in Rome, if you just walk a mile, you're in a completely new country. These ceilings were insane. Imagine how long it took, and how did they even get up there? Divine. The work that they had on these domes was just also exquisite. The Renaissance paintings, bodacious. Last thing about the art, but I will never not be impressed by people who can make stone look soft. Wow. I picked up some holy water for me and my mom and my grandma here because Lord knows we need it. Anyways, there's so many parts of the Vatican. I'd say the 10 euros to go up top is 100% worth it. I changed cover-ups because gray really wasn't my color. All the walls are mosaics, and just think about how long it took to do each one of these. I wish y'all were here to see the detail in person, but it's just marvelous. After a million more stairs, there is a top of the Vatican, and you can see the entire city from here. As a gay in the church, I really did love the Vatican. It was beautiful, I prayed, and I honestly felt a lot closer to God.
Okay, sorry for subjecting you to that. But obviously I get a lot of things that deal with the church, on social media, and our team came across this. And here's why. A lot of times people think that the Catholic Church is not welcoming. No, we are. We just have traditions, and we have etiquette. And this young man, who obviously at the end says that he is gay, was welcome to come to the Vatican. They just covered him up because you're not supposed to have your shoulders exposed, and nor should you have super short shorts. You should be dressed appropriately and modestly. And why? Because we're there to pay attention to the spirit of the Vatican City and not to you as perhaps an obnoxious or dramatic tourist. But here's why I wanted to show you this video. He was clearly someone who doesn't agree with the Catholic Church's teachings. But he was, number one, willing to at least put something on and not feel offended by the rules. So that's a good sign. Two, experienced the beauty and appreciated the beauty of the Vatican. Truly. I mean, he claimed that he had an appreciation for all of the artwork, and he even commented on, the statues and the mosaics and the ceiling. It is breathtaking. But three, acknowledged that he's a sinner and he needs grace of holy water. Well, first of all, you don't buy a holy water, okay? That's just not true at all. There's no place where you can get holy water unless you take a vial, an empty bottle, and put it into the holy water font, and then you can get it from there. There is a place on the side of the Vatican where people can get some waters from the aqueduct, and then you can get it blessed, generally by the Pope. It is Wednesday or Sunday audiences. But then four, this is the thing that I appreciate the most. He said he felt closer to God. And that's what the church exists. The reason for the church existence. To help people experience the presence of God. Now, is this guy going to experience conversion? Well, I have no idea, because how many millions of people go to the Vatican each year? Millions and millions of people. But at least there was not a sense of entitlement and arrogance with all of this. And the reason why I even wanted to show you this video is because, as disagreeable as this video started, I at least am grateful that this person went to the Vatican and got something out of it without having to be escorted by the cops. It can happen, ladies and gentlemen. It can happen that you can go into the church and experience a profound sense of awe, as long as we go for the right reasons. And that is to, if you are cringy by nature, and there was a lot of cringe in this episode. If you might have cringe in your life, that's between you and God. But please approach the church with a little bit more humility that will help you to understand proper etiquette. I hope that this episode gives you something to think about, and maybe something to even talk with your children about. How would they approach going to the Vatican? Oh, one more thing too. Would any of these people walk into a Jewish mosque the way they did? Nope. Would they even walk into a Jewish synagogue or a Muslim mosque, that is, a synagogue or a mosque dressed this way? Nope. Would you even walk into a presidential palace dressed this way? Nope. Would I walk into any of their homes and think that I can do whatever I want? Nope. So I just think that hopefully this episode gives you something to think about, something to talk with your children about, because we sometimes forget that the church is, although part of the world, it is not of the world. Let me know your thoughts. Like, subscribe, share, and leave your comments. And please consider supporting us on patreon.com/The Father Leo Show, so that we can continue to dish out faith in this crazy culture with hopefully some helpful pastoral balance and practical commentary. God bless you, and stay hungry for God.